Hey guys, Jake Boomer with Alpha Angler. I am El Presidente. I'm also called the ROD GEEK by my buddy Brandon, who's over there eating Grey Poupon. This is actually Brandon's rod. We need to talk about something that's starting to really upset me, and it's braid-flouro knots. And I've studied and worked on guide trains for spinning rods like this one for a long time because I can't stand goofy casting. And so here's what's going on. We have a situation now where guys are saying, hey, listen, my braid knot is going through the guides making a bunch of noise, or I'm getting wind knots, or this has just started too. And like within the last year or two, when we came out with our first spinning rod and really refined the DSR, me, Polinick, a lot of fishermen, we had a guide train that would cast the braid of that day and those types of knots effortlessly. It was awesome. Use a 2500 size reel, 10 to 15 pound braid, no problems. All of a sudden now though, I've got guys, I've got my staffers, me especially, we're dealing with problems with the knot going through the guides. And it's really upsetting me. I wondered if the guides had changed, if something changed. The biggest change, so this is not, I'm not done with the research, but let me tell you guys a couple of things we found. This new high carrier count braid, Seagar Smackdown, SX1 Sunline, X9 from Berkeley, the high carrier count, and what I mean by high carrier count is there's multiple strands, like 9 to 10 strands compared to the old original Power Pro, which had 4 or 5. As this braid loses its coating and it starts to break down in the sun, your knot can actually grab line that's under it. So if your knot goes into the spool, that knot will actually grab line under it and pull it out with it as it goes down the guide train. So the last test we did was I fished a tournament on Hartwell where we used all new braid. Brand new braid, SX1 for the test, 10 pound test, very long leaders because we were fishing really clear water, but the line was new, it had new coating on it. I had no problems. I never once had that sound where you can hear the knot go clunk, 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 clunk down the guides. None of that. I never had where the line gets looped around the end of your first guide. That is caused by the knot grabbing the line under it and pulling it out with it on the cast. You'll see that situation get exacerbated the longer leader you have, because as you go to crank it back and throw it as hard as you can, that knot is getting dug into the spool and grabbing line on the way out. So one of the fixes is, and I hate to say this, is to rotate your braid a ton. The other fix, which I noticed just grabbing one of Brandon's rods, is you don't let your knot go into the spool.